You probably know the story, even if the name Alfred Noyes doesn't quite ring a bell. You know the one. A tale of romance, danger, and this incredible sacrifice. It's been echoing through classrooms for, over 100 years now. But have you ever wondered about the guy who actually wrote it? Okay, let's dive into the world of Alfred Noyes, a master storyteller whose own story is just as fascinating as the characters he created. It all begins with those lines, right? And just like that, you're not just reading a poem. You're there. You can feel that wind. You can see that moon. It's like you're standing on some dark, chilly moor, just waiting. That is the power of Noyes' writing. It's so immersive, so atmospheric, and it perfectly sets the stage for our hero's dramatic entrance. And then, of course, we meet him, the Highwayman himself. He's this romantic, almost defiant figure, and Noyes just paints this incredible picture of him. But his dangerous ride through the night? Well, it's all for one person. And that's Bess, the landlord's daughter. You know, their love story? That's the heart of it all. It's the engine that just pushes the whole narrative forward. But you know how it goes in any great drama? Their love is threatened. A terrible betrayal kicks off this whole chain reaction, a series of events leading to a truly gut-wrenching choice. And that right there, that's what elevates this from a simple love story into a timeless tragedy. So let's really dig into this masterpiece of storytelling. I mean, it's captivated readers for literally generations. But what is it about the Highwayman that gives it such enduring power? Okay, so it came out way back in 1906, and it's what you'd call a narrative ballad, which is really just a poem that tells a story, almost like a song. And what a story it is. The dashing highwayman gets ambushed by soldiers who do this unbelievably cruel thing. They tie his beloved Bess to her bed with a musket aimed right at her heart. Her sacrifice to warn him and his own doomed, grief-stricken return, that's the tragic climax of the whole thing. A huge part of what makes it so powerful is its musicality. That strong rhythm and rhyme make it so memorable, especially when you hear it read aloud. And this line just haunts you throughout the poem. At first, it's like a promise between the two lovers, but later it comes back as this tragic echo. It's incredible how one single line can capture the entire theme. It's about a love so powerful it feels like it transcends life itself, but it also speaks to the absolute finality of the sacrifice they both make. You know, the poem is so powerful, so iconic, it almost feels like it just exists on its own, like a piece of folklore that's always been there. But of course, it was the product of a specific mind. So who was the man capable of weaving such a timeless story? And that brings us right to Alfred Noyes himself, because the Highwayman, as famous as it is, was really just one piece of a long and incredibly productive career. A career defined by a deep love for storytelling, for history, and for the traditions of English poetry. In many ways, Alfred Noyes was a poet for the people. See, unlike a lot of his modernist contemporaries who were experimenting with really complex, abstract stuff, Noyes believed in the power of a good story well told. His language was clear, his rhythms were strong, and he stuck to traditional forms. All of this made his work super accessible and, incredibly popular, with a huge audience. And wow, was this guy productive. I mean, just look at this timeline, and this is only a snapshot of his early career. From his very first collection, The Loom of Years, through to celebrated works like Tales of the Mermaid Tavern, you can see this common thread. He was absolutely fascinated with English history, folklore, and these larger-than-life characters. His passion for history is on full display in his 1908 work, Drake. Just 2 years after The Highwayman, he published this sweeping epic poem about the famous sea captain, Sir Francis Drake. It's a total swashbuckling adventure in verse, packed with sea voyages, battles against the Spanish Armada, and a powerful sense of patriotism. It just shows his amazing skill at blending historical fact with poetic art. But that optimistic, romantic world of Noyes' early poetry, well, it wasn't going to last forever. Like for so many of his generation, global events would profoundly change his perspective, and that marked a whole new phase in his writing. And the shift in his work is crystal clear. The romantic spirit you see in poems like The Highwayman eventually gave way to more serious and philosophical writing as he got older. The grand adventures were replaced by these deeper questions about faith, loss, and the state of the world. World War I was a major turning point. Noyes wrote patriotic poems, but they were later criticized for not quite capturing the brutal reality of trench warfare, not like poets such as Wilfred Owen did. This, along with his later conversion to Roman Catholicism, really pushed his writing in a new direction. For instance, a poem like The Last of the Dodo, written during World War II, uses the extinct bird as this powerful metaphor for innocence lost in a world just being torn apart by conflict. So, with his style falling out of fashion with the rise of modernism, and his later work being a bit more niche, what is Alfred Noyes' legacy today? Why do we still talk about him? Well, it's true his overall popularity did decline, but his place in the literary canon is absolutely secure, and it's largely because of one perfect poem. The Highwayman is a staple, an enduring classic that continues to be read and loved. He's remembered for that incredible ability to blend beautiful musical language with raw, powerful emotion. And ultimately, his best work taps into themes that are truly universal: love, loyalty, loss, and sacrifice. Which brings us to our final thought. For Alfred Noyes, the answer seems to be a resounding yes. His career was long and varied, but it's the haunting tale of a highwayman and a landlord's daughter that has ensured his voice continues to echo through time. And it poses the question, just how powerful can a single story be?